From the past I was ignorant and have no wisdom, and had been practicing the exterior path, the Brahman's Dharma. Once there was a short and ugly person who came to my home and begged for his wants. At that time I had prepared many precious crowns, gold and silver earrings, superior wonderful clothes, precious adornments, and argha vessels. Also had prepared hundreds of thousands of precious elephant carts and horse carts adorned with pearls, precious necklaces, and precious nets, and decorated with various wonderful tassels hanging over them, and covered by various precious canopies, precious nets, and silk gauzes over them, and with various precious tinkling bells tied on them. I had also prepared 1,000 yellow cattle. Their hair colors were especially fine. Their hooves were adorned with silvers, their horns were decorated with gold, and their whole bodies were adorned with pearls and various treasures. I had also prepared innumerable hundreds of thousands of various precious thrones, and immeasurably accumulated gold, silver, and various treasures. I had also prepared hundreds of thousands of tens of thousands of herds of cattle, innumerable herders, many drinks and foods as fragrant and delicious as heavenly tastes, innumerable precious bells, innumerable gold and silver lion thrones, innumerable wonderful whisks with golden handles, and innumerable precious umbrellas adorned with the 7 treasures. When I had prepared such substances for a great offering, hundreds of thousands of petty kings came and got together. Hundreds of thousands of Brahmins also came and got together. Innumerable Kshatriya also came and got together. Then I became suspicious and surprised. At that time I was in the highest position. I had great influence and was ruling the earth. I planned to follow the Brahmin method to repent, especially the evil karma of the previous lifetimes, so I wished to kill those Kshatriya and their wives, sons, and relatives, dissect their bodies, and get their hearts and livers to offer sacrifices to the heavens in order to clear the sins. Then I shackled those hundreds of thousands of tens of thousands of Kshatriya petty kings and imprisoned them in a copper cave in which innumerable hundreds of thousands of outlying region persons were also imprisoned. I used thick iron pegs connecting with iron chains to shackle those Kshatriya on their wrists and legs and made some doors in the cave. The first door was made of normal wood. The second door was made of Kadira wood. The third door was made of iron. The fourth door was made of wrought copper. The fifth door was made of pig copper. The sixth door was made of silver. And the seventh door was made of gold. Furthermore, I installed 500 locks on each of these 7 doors to reinforce them, and placed 1 mountain in front of each of the doors. Then, one day, Narayana suddenly transformed himself into a fly and came to spy. Then another day he transformed into a bee and came again. Then another day he transformed into a pig and came. And another day he transformed into a non-human being. In such a manner he came to visit day after day with different appearances. At that time I was thinking of launching the Brahma method. When Narayana saw this, he came to the copper cave to wreck it. He removed all the 7 mountains in front of the doors, threw them to other places, and called out loudly to the prisoners, "Supreme kings, what a great affliction you are suffering from! Are you alive or dead now?" Having heard the calling and asking, the prisoners replied, "We are still alive now, Narayana, the heavenly honored one, the great powerful diligent one. Please save us from the suffering." Narayana then destroyed the 7 doors in the copper cave, and then those petty kings in the cave were all released from the shackles and saw Narayana. They then thought severally, "Is the great powerful Asura king dead? Or is he dying now?" The Kshatriya said, We would rather die by fighting against him than die by the imprisonment. We now should follow the Kshatriya's law to fight against him. If we die in this territory, we will be reborn in heaven." Then those petty kings rode the arranged chariots and saddled horses severally from their houses, with weapons holding in their hands, preparing for a great fighting. At that time, Narayana transformed into a Brahmin, whose body was short and ugly, with deerskin winding on his armpits and a three-forked staff held in his hand, and came to the door of my dwelling. At that time, the guardian of the door said to him, "Do not enter this door, you short, ugly person. Stop, do not enter." The Brahmin said, "I came here from a far distance." The guardian asked the Brahmin, "Where are you from?" The Brahmin said, "I am a great supernatural person, come from the palace of the king of Kustana state." The guardian then went on to say to the great powerful Asura king, "Now here come a Brahmin, whose body is short and ugly." The great powerful Asura king said, "What does this person come for? What does he need?" The guardian said, "I do not know what he needs." The great powerful Asura king said, "Go to call this Brahmin in." Having received the order, the guardian then called the Brahmin in. Having seen him, the great powerful Asura king vouchsafed the precious throne to the Brahmin and let him sit. Before that, the great powerful Asura king's teacher, who was called Gold Star and was being offered and sustained by the king, had already told him, "Now this Brahmin is an evil person. He comes here to destroy your plan." "Master, why do you know that?" The teacher said, "I certainly know it. Do you know who he really is? He is Narayana." Having heard that, the king began to think, "I practice giving without regression. Why does he come to obstruct and destroy my plan now? I should use my eloquence to question him." Then the great powerful Asura king asked the Brahmin, "Now, why do you come to my dwelling? What do you want?" The Brahmin said, "I wish to beg for 2 steps land." The Asura said to the Brahmin, "You need some land and said 2 steps. Well, I will grant you the land of 3 steps. He then used a gold bottle to grant some clean water to the Brahmin, saying, "If you need some land, you just take it." The Brahmin accepted and made a wish. "May you be peaceful and have a long life." Then the short and ugly body of the Brahmin suddenly disappeared. Gold Star then told the Asura king, "You are going to accept the retribution of your karmic evil." Subsequently, Narayana suddenly manifested his body, with the sun and the moon carrying on his shoulders, and the weapons such as sharp sword, wheel, staff, bow, arrow, etc., holding in his hands. When the great powerful Asura king suddenly saw this, he became frightened and trembling, and then tumbled and fell in a faint. A long time later, the king woke up and said, "What should I do now? Perhaps I should take some poison to end my life." Then Narayana began to measure the land with his steps, just 2 steps, and there was no remaining land. "It is not sufficient for 3 steps, so this cannot fulfill the previous promise." The king said, "What can I do now?" Narayana said to the king, "Now you should follow my teaching." The great powerful Asura king then said, "Yes, I will follow your teaching." Narayana said, "Will you really do?" The great powerful Asura king said, "Yes, I will really do. These words are honest, and I have neither regret nor parsimony in my mind." Thereupon I followed the teaching, completely destroyed all the places made for launching the Brahmin method, and gave all the gold, silver treasures, clothes, precious bells, umbrellas, wonderful whisks, lion, precious thrones, the yellow cattle adorned with treasures, and other treasures and adornments to those petty kings, and released them from the method launching place of the great powerful Asura king. The great powerful Asura king said to Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, I now realized that because in the past I followed the Brahmin method to set up a great assembly of offering, the circumstances that I practiced giving was defiled, black, and impure. Therefore, I and my followers are being confined in this iron cave and are suffering from the great affliction. Avalokitesvara, now I pay homage to you. Please take pity on us. Liberate us from this suffering. He then glorified and paid homage to Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva Mahasattva.